AWSI 2023 with Sky, one of the designers at Duotone, to talk about their new lineup. What you got for us?
Well, we've got some new kites and some new boards. I guess we'll start with the new kites. This one behind us here is the Rebel SLS for 2024. This is our dedicated big air kite. So this is the kite that if you want to go out and send huge jumps over the moon and get massive hang time, this is definitely the model you want to be on. Made some changes to this kite for 2024, which we're really excited about. Most of the changes are focused around the wingtip area. So we've gone to a little bit more neutral angle of attack in the tips, which gives you quicker steering and a little bit lighter bar feel. Of course, we didn't want to go completely away from the Rebel feel, which everyone knows and loves from past years.
Yeah.
It's still a really direct handling kite. When you sheet in, you have that really direct sheet and go sort of thing for taking off for a jump. But yeah, a little bit lighter bar than last year's, a little bit quicker steering than last year's, and the really cool thing about this is when you do a kite loop, it wants to climb over your head much easier than last year's. It doesn't tend to get stuck in the middle of a kite loop. It definitely rises overhead and catches easier. So yeah, dedicated big air kite, a little bit lighter bar, a little bit quicker steering, and then yeah, we're really stoked to launch this for 2024.
Think gonna win King of the Air this year?
I hope so. We'll see. I think it's between this and the Evo D-Lab. I think these are definitely our two big air kites. So we'll see which one can jump higher.
All right, tell us about the new Neo.
Okay, so this is the Neo SLS for 2024. This kite got a pretty big update from last year. This is our dedicated, high-performance wave kite. It's also a great freeride kite. A lot of the things that make it a great wave kite also make it a great freeride kite. So you don't necessarily have to be riding waves to appreciate this kite. But yeah, some of the things we changed from last year. The main thing you'll notice is a little bit different wingtip geometry. So it's got a little bit more square tip. The tip got a little bit wider. So we packed a little bit more power into the wingtips. This gives you quicker steering and quicker response, which is of course great for a wave kite to have a quicker steering kite. And then we balance that out because when you get a wider wingtip, you tend to, the bar load tends to go up on a kite. So to keep that under control, we started working on the tip strut with a little bit flatter profile on the tip strut, also a little bit more neutral angle of attack in the tips in general. And yeah, the main thing to notice from last year's Neo SLS is quicker steering, quicker depower, and you still have that really nice and back. You know exactly where the kite is in the sky, so you don't have to look at your kite when you're riding a wave. So yeah, we're really happy with the recent upgrades in the SLS.
All right, and last but not least, we've got
this is the Neo Original. Yeah, so this is our wave kite, all-around wave kite. The Neo Original didn't really get an update for about 2 years, so it was about time we did a big update for this kite, which we did in 2024. Borrowing some of the features that we implemented into the SLS and D-Lab models. So you'll notice that compared to the previous Original, it has a wider wingtip, more square wingtip geometry. That translates to quicker steering, more reactive steering. But with the Dacron frame of this kite, it definitely has a softer, more forgiving feel than the SLS and D-Lab models. So yeah, that's a great all-around kite. It's a great wave kite. It's also a great school kite. It's a great entry-level kite for people who are just getting into the sport because it has such good drift. It's so hard to knock this kite out of the air. Has really good depower. Because it's used in schools, we also beefed up the wingtip area of this kite. So we went to a 3x3 ripstop material just in this wingtip section, just to give it a little bit more durability in the tips. But yeah, you can expect to have really easy, accessible performance from this kite. It's a great wave kite and great freeride kite, and a kite that can kind of be used for everything.
Great, so we've got some new boards?
We've got some new boards. We've got some new twin tips here. We're looking at the Soleil and Soleil SLS. These are both new shapes for 2024. The main difference between these two is, of course, the construction. The Soleil SLS, we're using a carbon Integra fiber, which is what you can see here on the deck. And then for the regular Soleil, we're using a flax fiber, which is totally new for us. This board is actually part of our new Concept Blue range. So we're using more sustainable materials to build the boards. So this is utilizing a flax fiber, which is a sustainable material. And yeah, we're really excited about that. Okay, so shape-wise, what is different with these boards compared to last year is you'll notice they have an asymmetrical step cap on the deck. And there's a really good reason for this. Typically when you load up for a jump, you're putting a lot of pressure on this back heel side corner. And what tends to happen is this will sort of flex off in a way torsionally where you lose grip and you'll lose your edge before your jump, so you don't get as good of a takeoff and the board doesn't feel as positive. You can overcome that by making the torsional stiffness stronger, but then you ended up with a really stiff board. So what we did here with the asymmetrical step cap is we're able to still keep the board, soft and comfortable to ride, but in a way where we have more torsional stiffness just on the heel side edge, and we keep the toe side edge still really torsionally flexible. So you get this really nice mix of, a nice, soft, comfortable feeling board, but you still get this really solid edge to take off, and you get a really good takeoff. And that's something that we've done sort of across the range of the other boards. I can grab another new board here, which is our Select SLS. So this comes also in the SLS construction and in the original construction, also with the asymmetrical step cap for the same reasons I just mentioned on the Soleil. And then we also have the Concept Blue board here in the original construction with the flax fiber. So Soleil SLS, Select SLS, and Soleil and regular Select, all with those new features.
And then the Grown board, right?
And we also have the Grown board. So we have this new board, it's called the Shred. And this is based, on the Select shape, basically, but just downsized for Groms. This comes in the original construction. It's got the asymmetrical step cap. So it's a really comfortable board to ride, sized specifically for Groms. It's really cool to see all the movement, in big air.
Yeah. All those young bloods, right?
All the young bloods getting into it. We're really going crazy with our young blood camps, and we're really stoked to have this board in the lineup for 2024.
Rad. And we have a surfboard.
So this is a brand new surfboard for 2024. It's called the Volt. It's the Volt SLS. And this is a new shape that we developed over the past season. It comes in 3 sizes, a 5'2", a 5'4", and a 5'6". It's a great, sort of small to medium wave high performance board. It looks a little bit like our Fish, which we have in the lineup because it has this swallowtail, but it's a little bit more high performance version of the Fish. So it's got a little bit more pulled in tail, more pulled in nose. It's got some really cool bottom features where it's got this deep double concave running all the way out the tail.
Wild.
It's really fast, so when it's flat on the water, you have a lot of speed and a lot of glide, and then when you get it on rail, it really likes to grab and hold and go tight. So it's a really exciting board in small waves. The construction is brand new for us. So this is also a Concept Blue board, which is us, doing our best to make our products, with as sustainable materials as possible, while still keeping them really performance oriented. This board is made in a factory in Italy, in Sardinia, so it's 100% made in Europe. It has a recycled UPS core. It has our cork shock absorber on the deck. The cork is sourced right there locally in Sardinia, so it doesn't have to travel very far. And then this cool looking material you see on the deck is a basalt Inegra mix. So the black part is basalt, basically volcanic rock. It's really strong. And then we interweave that with an Inegra fiber, which dampens the board and helps keep it flexible and make it feel really smooth through the water. So we're really stoked to launch this board. Again, this is our Concept Blue construction. We're doing it with a lot of other products like our bar. We're integrating it into our twin tips now with our surfboards. So we're really stoked to be able to launch this first model of our more sustainable construction for surfboards. And I hope you guys get a chance to check it out.
Yeah, what's your go-to setup?
My go-to setup, my passion really is riding waves. So most days you'll probably find me on a Neo SLS, maybe one of these boards, maybe a Whip or a Wham, something like that. And then more recently, since I've been testing some of our more big air oriented kites, I've been riding the Rebel SLS and the Evo D Lab, and doing a lot more big air stuff. So depending on the day, that's kind of my go-to setup.
Well, it's finally windy. You can get out there?
Yeah, I think you're going to head out for a session pretty soon.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You guys.